Hmm.
Hello, David.
Hello.
Woo. We just had a rainstorm open up on us out there.
Oh, we did?
Yes, it's
Oh.
pouring out.
Oh, you're kidding.
No,
I didn't even
I
realize.
left Walton and it was sunny and I said, oh my gosh, all of a sudden we hit a little rainstorm.
Well, it was weird. The weather report said that we were going to have abundant sun today. It has not been abundant
It's
sun.
really, it's unusual. I didn't expect this at all. Didn't see any- This is abundant sunshine, I guess. Liquid sunshine.
Liquid sunshine.
Yeah.
Abundant something.
Yeah.
Hi, Dave.
Yep,
How are you?
good.
Good.
So far, so good.
You knew Jeff Rosenberg, didn't you?
Did I?
Apparently not well. He was a student right from very early. One of my first places where I taught was at a women's something up in Vernon.
Huh.
And he was a student for all the way till 2014.
Was he in at Park Church? Because that's where I joined you at Park Church.
Yeah.
Then we
No.
went up to Colchester.
No, he came from Vernon to Manchester to another one of the places where I taught, and then Colchester.
Okay.
Anyway, he was here today. He lives in Florida now,
Oh,
and he was here today with his 3-year-old son, Jesse, who was an absolute delight. And he might actually join this class. He has done all of this before, but
yeah.
he's going to see whether he can fit that in or not.
Yeah.
Obviously on Zoom.
Yeah.
It's a long commute from Florida.
Yeah.
Is Joyce out there?
No,
Doesn't
I was
see
going to
her.
ask you, is she joining us today?
As far as I know.
Yeah.
Hi.
And Bob, is he back from Maine?
Bill,
Bill, I'm sorry, Bill.
yes, he is.
Good.
And he was supposedly going to join us, but hey, whoever is here is here.
Is here, exactly.
Yeah.
And we're already recording, so
All right.
David is ahead for once. Rare, I know it's rare. I have turned the room.
Oh, yeah.
So you want us facing this way then? huh?
Yes, I do. And actually, when we get up on our feet, you can work this way or this way, it doesn't really matter. But I'll be able to see you.
Well, this way gives us more length when we do the walking.
Yeah,
When we do the walking, but-
pull the chairs out of the way.
Okay.
And move on. You're here?
Yeah, I'm here. Must be my socks.
What?
My feet are too big for my shoes all of a sudden.
Oh. Over the last, I don't know, 3 or 4 years, my feet have spread considerably.
Oh, really? Oh, it's working. So far, so good.
Oh, good.
I did have a question.
Uh-huh.
And it goes back to one of the forms I've easily spent more time on than anything else. And that is stepping out. Do you just kind of go through that?
Sure. Absolutely.
So I think I've learned, I've probably done it a million different ways. And I think Rick might have a different way of doing it,
Yes, he does.
because I think he's into the, and then turn,
Well,
no, he puts the foot out and then he turns onto it. And then comes back.
yeah, he adds an extra turn. Actually, we do it slightly different in another part of it too. So
Okay.
just to confuse you, Dave.
Yeah, I know. It's, yeah, there's a purpose behind everything. Mostly to confuse me.
I have a form question, so I guess we can wait until the form, but it was basically that the elbows in, out, when we're doing the press. Oh my gosh, trying to coordinate that.
Well, really, it's scapula in and out.
Okay, yeah, that make the elbows go, and I feel like it's doing that, but my elbows are not cooperating, so. So if we could just review that.
We'll review that. Let me do this. He felt like the energy. So, good. What is your question?
It was the, you know, the
Oh.
scapula with the press. It seems like I'm done with this before my scapula is done with in, out, in. There are four, right? It's in, out, in, out.
Yeah, and it's moving fairly quickly and very subtly.
Okay. And I think that's my problem, David, because the, you know, the press is not as subtle. Hi, Joyce. So I just need to know where to coordinate that.
Good. What's your name?
Listen, I'm trying to be very brave. I haven't done anything, as you know, in 6 weeks. So.
You are brave.
And if I
And we're
fall
delighted
down,
to have you.
nobody picked me up. I can get up by myself.
I said David can pick on him and we're all safe.
Sure you are. Well, I've already sounded the ting shaw, but
Oh, I'm sorry.
that's all right. Do either of you have a question to throw into my thinking here? No? Okay. Joyce?
No.
No. Okay. So Dave asked to review stepping out. And it's just a very simple whole body movement. But it isn't so simple, is it? So we have a weight shift into the right foot. So you want to get to where you are 100% on the right foot. And then you're going to spiral down, turning right. So you're both turning and sinking, which sends the foot up and out. And you have to, the real difficult part of this is that you want that turning and sinking to go all the way through the step. And then you come into center through a curve. So we're doing it in the same direction. So the weight shifts into the right, you spiral down, stepping out empty, and then you rotate through a slight curve into center. And those curves are necessary, particularly because the arms are rotating subtly, but they're moving. They're not still.
Are you putting your heel down first?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, I did.
Okay.
And really, at this point, we probably should. We start with toe first because that's a little easier. But there comes a point where it really should be heel first.
So when you spiral down, are you spreading your arms when you do that?
Uh-huh.
Okay, so it's arm and,
The arms, so they begin here,
right, okay,
and through that whole movement, they're doing this. Through the whole movement. So in other words, they are, and there is a lift, you're opening the armpits, but they are rotating, and you're ready to begin whatever you're going to do. And we use the same basic beginning for almost everything. The only thing is that in the Yang style form, when you come into center, you actually go into Pung
right.
instead of to basic position. Anybody, did that clarify that, Dan?
Absolutely, yep. Yeah, because I think I was stuck with with Rick, coming in from the left back.
Yeah. Rick is-
Then I couldn't remember which way to do it.
Yep. And Rick's good and has very specific reasons for doing that, and that's actually a very good practice because it develops a real ability to root.
Right, yeah. Yeah, I find that I can go from, one to the other by just the quad.
Uh-huh.
And then it helps me practice those opening and closing the quad.
Yep. Anybody else have a question on that? Do it once.
Look at Billy O.
It is here.
When does that start? When you get over here?
It so the whole arm movement is just so you're going about halfway through that at this point, and you're completing as you go through here.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And you're ending with the hip distance apart stance.
Mhm.
See, that's,
And facing straight ahead.
I think my stance has been too wide, so
So
What am I doing wrong?
don't come straight up in the center. It's a curve.
I thought there was a curve. I thought I did a curve.
It started with a curve, but then you got to the middle too fast, so you went up. So it's a proportional. And yours is not this way, it's this way into the center.
Oh, okay.
Ah, yes.
Yeah, that makes more sense.
David, what's the arm movement?
It is actually all it is just
I'm glad you asked that
rotating.
question,
and
Dave. I
lifting.
have not been
It's
paying
the
much
one thing
attention.
I've spent years doing at home, and I just When you do it right, it feels pretty good.
It's
I was gonna say, exactly. It's like,
actually marshalling,
if you-
it's
just
somebody's trying to grab
start,
you.
know?
Yeah,
And
and
I
if you
find
don't
this
get it
one-
right, then the rest of it's kind of,
Nice.
I agree.
it's like trying to play catch up.
Well, I was
This-
missing that curve coming, so.
Right,
yeah,
that's the other part that I wasn't getting
Yeah.
was,
with that curve. Yeah.
Yep.
yeah, it's gotta, you still gotta
And,
come out of
and,
this.
and not the rotate back here.
Right.
Just the
Oh,
center.
just to come
And
into
then,
it.
but you do, part of that curve is coming up, right, David?
Yeah,
All right,
if I exaggerate it,
all right, do it again. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, do it again. I want to watch the beginning. I watched the end. Sorry.
watch both.
Okay,
Okay.
okay.
Nothing to it. It's a simple little thing.
Like all our other simple little things.
Yeah. Right.
Oh, my goodness.
Better? No.
No.
Then I don't know, now I don't know what I'm not doing right. So what am I not doing?
So, you did
This part.
pretty
of-
well getting to here,
Okay,
and you started just fine, but you got here and you did that.
okay, what should I do?
You don't do this. We're not going straight up and down. Everything has to have a curve, arc, circle, round. Better. So it's a, one of the things is not to move too quickly from one foot to the middle so that you have time to make the curve. That's pretty good.
Slowing it down really helps.
Yeah,
Or I just, because I was missing that whole curve thing. in the-
now you gotta find that curve,
Yeah.
Bill.
And my stance. was way
Curve
too
up,
wide,
and it's a
so I
curve
had
to
to- yeah, I had
completion.
to
It's not
shorten.
curve to center and come up.
Okay.
That's an interesting thing in itself. What is shoulder width?
Yeah, it's.
You know, is it the inside of your foot that's shoulder width, the middle of your foot,
The middle of your foot.
the middle of your foot? So that's shoulder width.
That's a little narrow.
I've tried to find that for years, just finding shoulder width. I fuss with it all the time.
So, one of the things I would say is when you have, and that's an important thing, when you have stepped out and you come into what it is, you want to stop for a moment and just feel. Is it comfortable? Do you have a sense that the energy is dropping straight down into your feet? Bruce, in his somewhat interesting way, would say, feel that your butt is dropping into your feet.
Oh, okay.
It's a little graphic now. Yep. Okay. So.
Good question. Really? I'm serious.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's one of those things that you really kind of need to come back to every once in a while.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Absolutely. And the thing is that as you begin to use it, for instance, when you are going into another practice, it's immediate. There's no pause. that is simply beginning whatever you're going to do.
Right.
So whether you're going into one of the walks, um, so last time we started to focus on really two pretty important principles, bending and stretching or extending or straightening. Any of those words are fine for that second part of it. The other is making the movement spherical, not only rounded, but spherical. And so I wanted to think about that in relation to the 8-gate meditation and pulsing the energy through that. And one of course, our basic principles is that you don't want to have any pauses develop. So no holding the breath, keeping the movement continuously flowing, connecting everything together. So first, let's just go through the 8 postures of the second version, the one we're working with at the moment, and make sure we're clear about what we mean by those things. So after you have stepped out and you've come into center, first thing that's going to happen is you're going to go into Jian, heaven. And so in order to do that, you have to have a bend and an extension. So there was a curve that was established. But the first thing is that as you bend, the arms have to go out a little in order to be able to come in. So that only happens at the beginning because your arms start at the side. So just doing that again, begin to sink, the arms come forward, rotating, bending, you're close to the body. And as you come up through the second part, you've moved out. The elbows have moved out. As you go to Kun, earth, the Kwa is bending, the arms are bending, coming back in close to the body, and then rising and extending out. And here we think of the palms facing the face. You could also do this palms facing the dantian, and I guess I might say at this point you could play with that, see which way you like. One day you might like one, and the next day you may like the other. But basically, Master Joe taught it as palms towards the face. Then going to Kan, water. So you're bending close, straightening, extending out. So the arms are going out at about a 45-degree angle. Good. The fire, bending, coming in and out. Good. You want your hands in front of the sidelines of the body, so they're not out here for this, they're in here. And if you play with that, you can feel a difference in the energy in your body. Okay.
Can I ask a question?
No, of course you can.
Way back when, and I don't know if this is part of 1 or 2, we would sort of sit at fire. Do we do that
Yeah.
anymore?
At both Kan and Li, you are a little lower than you are in the other movements.
Okay,
But it's Kan, Li, and Gun,
right.
not just commonly. Okay, so yes, this is if I were to straighten my legs, I go up. I'm down a little. So from here, we're going to go into gun. So bending and extending. So this is out on a 45-degree angle from the body, the palms facing downward. And
I
again,
can feel you over here.
good. Good energy, Dave.
Yeah.
I don't, yeah.
Okay. And from here, we go to Sun Wind. So coming in and then going out. And here you want the sense that the arms are dropping vertically from the elbow, the palms rotated outward. And this is back up to base level. Then we go to Dewey Lake. So you bend in and then extend out. Good. And the last one, bend, extend. Good. So any question in there? Okay. So generally speaking, we think of inhaling on the bend and exhaling on the straightening or extending. But in between each of those postures, you want to keep the movement going. So we are no longer just standing with this, but we are pulsing, trying to pulse the energy. And there's other parts to it here, but we want to particularly have the bending and stretching. Also, remembering that part of the concept of spherical is those curves that you're going through. You're not doing the whole sphere. You're only tracing a part of it. But if you clearly feel the sphere, then you can feel the arc that you're working with too. But you really want the sense that this is a sphere of energy that you're working with. Okay? So when we get up to Qian heaven, we want to continue that. And now we're going to bend and extend. And we're moving the arms through a little circle, a little sphere, if you will. And notice that, well, we'll get into that later. I won't confuse you with that. But going back to Carol's question about elbows before, so we start here. Notice that my elbows come in and they go out. And they come in and they go out. They do not collapse in and go out this way. They're going, well, this is doing this, they're doing their circle here.
So this is movement coming from the scapula that's driving
Absolutely.
the elbows. Okay, so if you do it that way, they don't tend to collapse then. The elbows
Oh,
don't tend to collapse.
excellent.
Yeah.
That a question, Bill?
No.
Okay. So that's Qian. We go down to Kun Earth. And again, we keep it going and you want to feel the scapula moving. And I think everybody's doing it, but I just mentioned that when you think about the bending in the arms, your scapular bending, your shoulders are moving, your elbows are moving, are bending, actually your wrists are bending, your fingers are bending. Actually, the bones of your hand are bending. But you want everything to be moving, okay?
David, can you just review the breathing pattern for that again?
Sure.
Where do you breathe in and out?
So inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. And inhale, exhale. And this circle goes here. And this is one where you really have to think about the elbows because it's very easy to collapse them and you lose the connection back to the spine. So, but the circles are here, going straight out in front of you. So they're coming in and out. And then right to leave fire. And you continue on right out in front of the sidelines of your body. Okay. So I can see this one is not as easy as the others, apparently. So here, we don't want to do that, do we? We want to do this. So the elbows are coming in, going out. They're not going back and forward.
Which way is the circle? This way? This way, okay, it is, okay.
So in, out. And usually the out will be rising. Usually. The other thing for you in watching, Joyce, in watching, is to think about the fact that you want the elbow to be facing to the earth.
Okay.
So it's not here. It's not up. You're getting the movement, but your elbows are pointed out.
Okay.
You want your elbows pointed down. Not closing off the armpit, but pointed down.
Oh, yeah. Wow, that feels very different.
Aha,
Oh,
cool. So from here we go to Gun Mountain. So bending in, extending out. Now the circle is going to go on a diagonal. So you're coming in, going out. You want to feel the scapula moving towards the spine, moving away from the spine, moving into the ribs, moving away from the ribs. Scapula move in two directions. Bill, you want to have a little more sense of extension out, I think, when you complete. So you're making your circles like this. We want them to go like this.
Do that again. I'm making my circles like
You're making your circles like this.
this, yeah,
You want them to be like this.
more, okay.
So,
More.
so they are coming into the body, going out of the body.
Got it.
Oh, my hand.
That's all right. Don't worry about it.
Is Bill here?
Yes, Bill's right there.
Not that
He's over
Bill,
here.
the other Bill.
The other Bill's in the God's class now.
Oh, okay.
So this recording is for you. All of you. Although Jeff Rosenberg, who you probably don't know, might join us. Okay, so from here, we go to sun, wind or wood. So we're bending in, extending out. And now these circles are going to go here in directly to the side, or more or less directly to the side. So they're bending in and extending out. Okay. And then sun, doing, excuse me. Let's do that one again. So we're here. So we're bending in, cross the wrists, connect, and separate. And then again, they're going in and out, right along the sidelines, straight ahead. Then up. Jump, thunder. Close. Remember now, we're making that connection of the palms, the Laogong points, right down to the dantian. And then when we step in, we're going to rotate and spiral down into the right, and then spiral back up, drawing the foot in. Questions? So let's go to the single arm practice. And actually, what I'd like you to do is just do it.
You have a preference which arm you want to, that we start with?
At the moment, I would start with your right. Since that's the one. Well, it looks like everybody's going to go this way, Joyce, so maybe you can come to the end of the room. That might be a little easier.
I'm sorry, start with the right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So what you're going to do is step out and go right into the single arm. No pause. Flow right into it. Keep it moving.
Where do you want us to stop before Dave and I crash you?
Stop before you
Okay.
beat Dave up.
Go back to the beginning.
So you have a question first. So what does bend and extend mean in this movement? Anyone?
Well, I'm just thinking, of the, you know, as this arm is out, this one's bending in, and it's very hard to keep thinking of that. It's,
Aha.
yeah.
So
Elbow and arm.
Yeah, as the arms are moving, I know. I'm trying to concentrate on one arm at a time.
you know, you can, we're still constantly going back to our Taiji ball. And yang, the outwardly moving energy, is it in this particular attitude always at the top. So the arm is extended. It's not locked out, it's extended, but it's round. You've got that ball there. Okay, but it's extended. And then when it does come down, it bends. And admittedly, that's not a huge bend, but it is not extended either. Okay, so really finding that ability to feel the bend, how much bend there is, and one is bending and one is extending. You're right. That's why I said at first, really practice just focusing on one arm at a time. But eventually, yes, you want to be aware of both. So try it again.
I think it's too soon for me to be aware of both.
You don't have to.
Okay, I'm
That's
gonna.
fine.
Okay.
Nope. I'm not saying that there is never a pressure on my part that you should be at any particular point at a particular time. It's different for everybody.
As soon as I do try to think of it, I lose them all, so.
Uh-huh. Pause. That's not extended.
I knew once I got up there, I was, whoa, that's too close.
Good. Okay. Good. That was better. Remember that you should always be rotating. Your dantian should always be rotating. So there is no movement in this where you simply shift your weight. That just does not happen. The other thing, obviously, to be really aware of is that lovely left arm movement that as you're doing this, it's staying in your ball. It's not going out here somewhere in space. Your ball is always stuck in front of you in this particular practice. Okay, it's not always true, but at the moment, as you know, when we work with feet in Bujibu and we're simply doing it, the ball is fixed in space. the body is moving around it. In this, the ball is fixed to you and you're both moving together. So it's a different connection.
When that lift arm drops, are you saying it stays in a line?
No, it goes into a shallow curve.
Oh, okay.
So in other words, it's not doing this.
That's right.
So it still needs to have this curve, but it's not the full S curve that you do in the other movement, because the body is rotating away from it and therefore it compresses the S curve. But it still crosses the center line and rotates through the S. The S doesn't disappear. You have to find it within the movement. And that's the really counterintuitive piece in the single arm. You appear to be moving in the wrong direction with your body, but you're not. You're moving in exactly the right body connection, if you connect it, because it will do it.
David, what helped me last week when you said that, or the last time, is I was doing that movement, just like you're saying, with a two-dimensional. It was flat, so it was very awkward, but when you kind of reminded me that it was a sphere and we're coming through it, almost back.
Yep.
We're coming through the middle of a ball, not around the ball.
So your arm is from.
Yeah, so it's almost bending, and then all of a sudden the move became so much less awkward. You know, because it
Is in the middle of the sphere.
Yep,
yeah,
in the middle of your body.
yeah. And I was trying to do it like almost like a flat surface, and
Yes,
it was just, I
yeah,
was
that-
getting crossed up all the time.
I remember that, yes, that helped me last time as well. I still sort of want to flatten that out
I know.
there at that point.
Well, yeah, because the one of the important things is that the dantian rotates so much more slowly than the arm is moving. Because it only goes in one direction. It only, when you're doing it with you're doing it because I did the right arm, you did.
Yes,
So,
yes, but
When you're doing the left arm at the
Yeah.
moment, your
Yeah.
body is continuously turning to the right. And it is the turning to the right that causes the arm to go through the S curve and to bend as it goes through.
And that's what I was losing. I wasn't bending it because I was going I was trying to do this,
Yeah.
remember? And it
Which cranks your elbow
it
out.
does, absolutely.
Yep. It's easier.
Oh my- Yeah, it's doable. I felt like I wasn't doing it before. I just couldn't get into that position.
We're not trying to make this harder. It's hard enough. Any other questions here? Okay.
Now, when you come down the bottom here,
Mhm.
you are just at your maximum turn.
No. So if you think of the numbers, it's 1, 2, 3. So you're not at your maximum in that curve. So you have 1, 2, and it's the turn in the other direction that completes the 3. Which is at the bottom, bent arm at the bottom. So you can go up.
So coming up the back is 4, right? That's when you start 4.
Mhm.
Okay.
Okay, so you've done 3.
3. And then
So 4,
4,
5, 6.
okay.
And I think part of this practice is related, Master Joe, drew on a lot of different things. But there is a Bagua exercise, which I am not completely familiar with, but in which you're walking actually in a circle, and you're turning a ball continuously and keeping the palms constantly facing each other. And that's actually what you're trying to do here. That's your intent. It is not what you're actually going to be able to do, because some of the positions are almost impossible. Although after a while, it gets easier.
Yeah, that's definitely an awkward position. Yeah.
Not eventually.
Someday.
Okay, did that answer your question, Bill?
It did at that moment, but I've lost it. Can you go all the way through it?
Sure. Do you want me to mirror it? So
No,
you,
no.
what? No?
No.
Okay. Actually, if I do it over here, it'll be on the tape.
That'll be good.
So you would have started here. So remember that we go 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
That was an extra bonus. I just wanted to know that 1, 2, 3.
Now you got them all.
I got it.
Good. Any questions? So we've kind of backed off of the double arm for a little bit at the moment. So we'll come back to it, but I wanted to work with these things, and we've got a couple more to add. And then we'll go back to the double arm also and work through the same things. So the form. I know you asked me a question about the form.
The elbows.
Oh, the
on
elbow.
Press that you talked about last
Yeah.
week.
Okay, so we're upright, roll back. Now, when you complete roll back, as you're turning, the elbows are coming in. As you start, they go out. As you continue to the bottom of your circle, they go in. And as you rise, they go out.
So you know what, I'm not seeing the circle in there, David.
There's no circle, there's a semicircle.
Okay.
So let me take the arms away for a minute. So when we've completed rollback, you're here. Here you're turning, and I'm going to exaggerate it, but you have the bottom half of the circle.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay?
yes, I was confused. I thought we were going all the way around in
Uh-uh.
the circle there.
Mm.
Okay.
Nope.
So
That's in the form. That's in the longer forms, not here.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think I may have said last week, I can't remember, or last time. I know that Master Joe was thinking really more martially with this little short 8 posture form, so that you don't have those longer transitions. You have the immediate. So when you When you get back to here, this goes in, out, and you're done. That's it.
Oh, yes.
It's just
So then
fitting- it's
all of
fitting,
that,
yeah.
in, out, and, oh.
I was just getting one in, one
Yeah.
out, and trying to get
Yes.
4 in instead of 2 is hard with just a half circle.
So that, again, part of why I said really slow it down for a while,
Okay, so,
because it's real hard to get it in. When you go fast, you don't even see it.
yeah.
It's boom, 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 boom. You're done.
So is there any particular place where you do the first in, the first out, the
Yeah.
second in, the second out? Okay. Can you slow that down for us and show us where that is? Okay,
So actually, I just did, but I'll do it
I
again.
know, and I missed it. Oh, God.
So it's as you're rotating that they're going in. And I'll try to exaggerate this.
Okay.
And as you start down, they go out. And that's a push down with the back of the arms. And then as you continue into your semicircle, they go in. And as you complete coming up, they go out.
Okay, so the
So-
movement of the elbows out are what causes the press, the push down.
Say that again.
The elbows going out that's what causes the.
It's related to it. I'm not going to get into the energetics. We can eventually, but at the moment, I'm kind of on the movement level.
Okay. That's-
Okay.
mm.
Anybody else have a question there? The moment?
One more time.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I don't have a question, but that is not an indication that I have it. I'm just starting to see what you mean there, so, or feel what you mean, so.
So I don't think any of you have really worked on opening and closing yet, have you?
Yeah,
You have? I didn't remember.
yeah, way under over there. With all the joints, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So what's really interesting is that in this posture, the movement of the elbows seem to be going in opposition
Yeah.
to your opening and closing, because push downward is a closing energy.
Okay.
And I'll just throw that out at the moment. We can come back to that.
Okay.
So complete rollback. So you're just turning and the elbows come in. As you start the circle, you're pushing downward and out. Then they come in, and as you complete your rise, you push downward with the palms.
That's what's gonna, what feels awkward is coming in as you're coming up.
Oh,
That doesn't feel natural. So that's just gonna take practice, I think.
so that semicircle
Yeah,
is because your arms are continuously rotating.
yeah.
So there has to be a rotational movement of your body. And for the most, for the whole part, your body is just going forward.
Yeah.
So the rotation for the arms has to come here from.
Yeah, that first in out feels pretty natural. It's
Uh-huh.
just as you're coming up to get them to go in again and then out. And then the last out feels okay.
It's that
third,
second in.
Yeah.
It's the
Yeah.
second
Second
in.
in.
So that you are.
Because you're moving forward as you're doing this as well.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and it just feels counterintuitive, doesn't it, to have the
So,
arms
yeah,
coming
it's
in
that-
as you're moving
Yeah.
forward.
Yes, yes, yes.
David, can you do that one again?
Oh, maybe. Of course we can. Absolutely. See where we are. Jeez. Sure. Do you want me to face you?
No, just.
Boy, you said that quickly, didn't
Yeah.
you?
Well, this way it'll be on the recording, so.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Again? So I'll face straight in this time. I've been on kind of an angle for a while. So we complete rollback. You turn. The scapula come in, go out, come in, go out.
You stuck another in out there.
No, I didn't.
I'm almost sure you did that.
Yes, two of them, that's what I was saying, but yeah, there are two of them.
I shifted the focus from the elbows to the scapula, but it's absolutely identical
Yeah, how about it?
and linked.
How about again?
So turn in, out, in, out.
Wow, that in.
It's that second in,
Yeah.
right? It's the
Yeah.
second in.
I know.
You
We
can't
could do
fake
one
it.
in out, I'd be perfect.
Yes, I know.
So if you think about the Youngstown formula we're working on,
Mhm.
it as you know, it's different because we didn't have this particular. We have the same thing, but here you've got a full circle, but it's the same because you had in, out, in, out.
Oh, why did it seem so much easier then?
You have more time here.
Yeah, that's it. That's exactly it.
In the other one, you have half as much time.
Yeah, yeah. But the same movement, just
Yeah.
compressed, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Other questions?
That'll just take, that's gonna take a lot of repetition in 2 weeks. Yeah.
It all
Please
does.
don't be upset or surprised if I come back in 2 weeks and say, could you do that again?
I wouldn't be a bit surprised.
I will. Whew.
And you know, I'm always willing to do that.
Okay, absolutely.
So, we had gone, actually gone through needle at sea bottom.
Right.
Yep, we did.
So, I don't know, maybe, I'm wondering if it'd be good if you guys came down here and made a second row. Okay. And,
We did.
so begin stepping out, come into center. And remember, we're going to start with the right foot, even though it's afternoon. Oop, come on, David. Step, sink a little, rising to ward off. Compress. In, out, out. Shift forward, embrace the moon in position. Shift, press forward. Shift forward, stepping in, separate the arms, shift, rotate and shift back and step forward, and rotate and shift to cow, bump. Shift forward, left up, right down, reset the right. That circle back to connect. And then up, reset the foot. Sink below your base level, facing straight ahead. Question? We'll work on it then.
Okay,
So Bill and Dave take a couple of steps forward, and I want you guys to just do that.
Just them, just those guys?
No.
Next try, Joyce.
Nice try.
Right. Nice try indeed.
No, that-
Well, that's good.
I think I did that.
I just left the posture out. Threw me off.
It'll do that. So what, did any questions come up as you did that?
You just said it this one time when we did it. From shoulder bump, hands and shoulder bump, like this or like this?
When you get to the completion of this, they're both in the same direction.
Okay, like this.
Yeah.
Okay.
So one thing is you may just be protecting if you're just holding their arms away. Or you could actually make connection and throw with the arms. Or you may be protecting the front of the body with the arms and bumping with the side of the body. And on and on and on and on.
Okay.
But your hands are here. You're forming a protective grid in front of your body.
And then what? And then you step in for, and the arms go like this? This is,
Yeah.
okay.
So when you completed shoulder, you have a shift and the arms fold. And one of the things is that we emphasize they fold. They do not rotate in any way. Okay. So you're here. When you shift forward, they just fold. As soon as you start to rotate and reset, then the body starts turning the arms. And it turns the arms. And it turns them back. Okay. People have been doing this for 10 years, Bill.
I know it. That's the frightening part.
Yeah,
It's
that's-
okay.
You're right, it's that transition from here. So I was rotating my arms. So when you go from here and the arms stay the same.
So
Okay, so,
really think about each. Eventually, yes, you're looking for lovely flow, everything connected. But the first thing is shift to 100%.
okay,
Okay?
Yeah.
So the left went up, the right went down. One goes in one direction, the other goes in the other.
okay.
That could be a strike. So you shift forward, separating, reset. So it's that you make that reset, that's a separate movement. And then as you go back, remember, if you feel a twisting in that forward leg, then you're going to let that foot turn.
Yeah, I do, I have to lift my toe.
Yeah.
Just, okay.
Most of us do.
And then to go into this part is the easy part. It's that transition that was tripping me up.
You may think it's the easy part.
Do you remember how long it took us to learn that? Months.
Yeah. Form, when we were doing it in the form.
Yeah, that's why it's easy.
Yeah.
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 Other questions, Phil?
No, it's just getting the feet right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's,
exactly.
Because I generally end up with my feet too close together.
so that's the thing that recognizing that with shoulder stroke, you're coming forward. That's a forward movement. Okay, pull down is not. When you've gotten here, you go to pull down. This is sit back, rotate in, not forward. So you come in, you narrow your stance, and then you pull them in.
Okay.
What is this, David, in a Marshall application?
It's actually a wrist lock, and they will want to follow you because it hurts.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. It's a joint lock. You go into a joint lock and then you just and they go.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I tell a story. I was practicing and my husband came up and started messing with me, right?
Yeah.
He just bugging me. And so I happened, he was like right here. And I happened to do boom, and I must have done it right. My husband's a big guy. He spun around. And I caught him off guard. And he actually spun around. I looked at him and
Good.
because I was so aggravated.
And see, it took no effort at all.
It didn't, it really, I couldn't believe my eyes that he actually spun around and I was just like doing what I was doing, you know? So, see?
Good.
Could never happen again. But
So when you get to, well, go ahead at the moment. So when you get to this point, David, to get to the right point, when you get to this point, the next movement, you know, in a way is related to that left arm S curve. Because what you're going to do is you're below base level. So you're going to go up to base level and turn right at the same time and step the left foot to the corner at the same time. So the movement is, okay?
what did you
So don't
do?
worry about the arms for a minute,
Okay.
okay? So find yourself, you're down here.
Mhm.
What's going to happen is this foot is going to go over there, but your body's going to go over here.
Mhm.
Okay, same thing we're doing in that S curve, turning in one direction and directing the energy to another. So from here, you just go, okay, empty step.
And this is pointing to the corner.
To the corner.
And you're not changing any direction of the foot on the right leg.
Nope.
Okay.
Now, perhaps the trickier part of this is what happens to the arms. So the left arm is going to come up not too high, with the fist about in the middle of the chest, palm down. And notice that the forearm is roughly level. And the right hand is going to come up with the Laogong point facing into that fist, but a couple of inches away from it. And that's what happens as you step. Okay, so you're here. And when you make that, make sure you're 100% back on the right foot so that you can rotate and rise and set that foot. And then you shift to your dynamic limit, and just as you come to your dynamic limit, the palm touches the fist. The elbow doesn't move except being moved by the body. Okay?
I think I had that backwards. Could you do that again?
Sure. So I'll turn this way just to be oriented perhaps better. So we're going to rise, rotating, step, shift, elbow strike.
So you're not moving the arm to strike, it's the body. you said.
And don't rotate.
Oh, okay, so, but the body is what's pushing the elbow forward,
Absolutely.
not the elbow, you're not doing this,
No,
okay.
this has no power. That has a lot of power. Don't go too far forward. So one of the things is that, of course, in application, that this, what has to happen is you tried to do this and this guy got away and he jumped around you in some way, and you have to get to where he is. Maybe he's here. Okay. But the form is to the forward corner. But the reason it's completely empty is you could be anywhere. You could be here.
What hand is in a punch? Right hand?
The elbow, left arm,
You're here,
left arm, right palm.
okay, so it's here, the foot goes out, that's what sets the movement of the arms. And then from here, it's just forward.
This is a full
Okay,
movement.
shift forward
Okay.
and pause. Don't turn.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Ah, okay. Yep.
You just killed me.
Sorry, David.
Elbow strike does not appear in most forms. It is considered
That's illegal.
one, if not the most lethal single strike. You literally can kill somebody with it. So,
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah,
That's it's putting your whole body behind it. It's just,
yeah, well, that's the point.
yeah.
So go back to first, just go back to rollback. So turn in, out, forward, reset, shift, press forward, step up, step forward, shoulder. Shift forward, fold, rotate and step in, rotate and sit back, up, keep the body turning, and up, turn right, step, shift. Boom.
So your body's on a 45.
Yep.
Okay.
Yes, because what you want is that the elbow goes out in the direction of the foot.
Oh,
Not
good,
your body.
okay.
Okay, that's a good
Okay.
visual
Oh,
thing.
that's
You're
good.
not going over here somewhere. This
Ah.
just lost power. I just lost energy doing, simply just doing that. I could feel the energy change. Here, you have structure and energy flowing.
How many more postures in this one?
One.
I was thinking we were about at the end.
That's the seventh one?
This is sixth one.
Sixth one.
This is the seventh, you're quite
Okay,
right.
so, okay.
We have an eight. We have eight. one for each of the 8 energies that we're working with
Yeah,
here.
Yeah,
So this is cloud, dewy, or elbow straight.
You got it.
Yeah.
This energy. This is just where you're finding that energy. And there is, it's interesting, somebody, well, I won't mention, but another teacher said, I don't understand this as a separate energy. Well, it is. It's because it's sending the energy through the elbow. You're not doing shoulder energy or this hand is adding energy, but it's adding energy to the elbow, not to the hand.
and it's just that shift onto that left foot with your body that really.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. This is this is one of the simplest ones. So it's a yin yang.
Mm. Yeah, true.
That's all there is. Okay, from the beginning. Do it once with you.
Oh, okay.
And I'm going to do it this way so you can see me on the movie, and then I will turn around. We'll do it again. We'll do it a couple of times.
Yes, you can. No. Okay, yes, so you can see.
Oh, no, I'm on the tape.
Don't look at yourself. Begin Taiji. Stepping out with the left, into center, stepping forward with the right foot, up into ward off right, roll back. Out and in and out. Step, shift, rotate to press, shift forward, step, shoulder. Shift forward, arms fold, rotate and step, connect and up, down through your S curve. Up and step, turning right, shift left.
I missed that turning right.
That will take some practice.
Yeah. I almost shifted my body again. It's just so, I have to remember not to do this.
No?
Yeah.
No, the way to think of this is that where you put your foot is where you're going to strike. That's what I was trying to say
Yeah.
before. It doesn't matter where it is. They're coming here. Okay, here. That's where you're striking.
But you're really setting your foot to your opponent.
Absolutely.
Okay.
You're putting it between their legs so you can hit their heart.
You tend to forget that they're that close.
Yeah,
You
I
know?
know. That's it.
Yeah.
That's why I came over and
Yeah, so
stood
you-
there.
yeah.
Or I tend to always forget that my opponent is like right here.
Yep.
Yeah.
The other thing, because I was watching you guys, I didn't watch you guys this time. Both of you have a tendency to shift too far forward into your bow stance. That's going to hurt the knee.
Okay.
You will not be happy.
No, okay.
So when you go, you did it particularly in press forward.
Oh,
You
okay.
were way out here,
I can see that. Yeah.
totally ineffective. Okay, again.
Yep.
In Taiji. Forward. Forward off right. Remember not to collapse the right elbow too when you're doing this. So you don't want to lift it up. That doesn't do any good. You still want it pointed downward, but you don't want it to collapse and close off the armpit because then you won't get that energy into the other arm. Bill, remember in this, after you get into ward off right, that you're rotating 60% back right away.
Okay.
Then you just rotate and condense. Dave, remember to, as you go up into ward off right, that the left arm pulls back.
Right.
Boom.
Oh, yeah.
So,
It's not out
all
here.
right, so,
It pulls away.
It's in here.
It's like these fingers were connected to the index finger and you're pulling away from that index finger.
There's 2 parts
don't ask
to
me,
it.
Carol.
Yep.
I got all
Yep.
it. Yeah,
The beginning of needle.
Yeah, that's,
So-
my transitions aren't good
so
there.
it's here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
The
then-
first
so
movement
then
is
Right.
real simple.
set that
Just shift
turn,
and
set
fold.
that foot out, and then they
Uh-uh.
don't
And
touch.
you're rotating.
Oh, that's right. And this is the fist.
And you're,
Right?
okay,
And that's the hand.
look at me for a moment.
And you
What
just-
you're doing is
And then you
this.
just this.
yeah,
Just
the
this.
both-
What you want to do
Just your
is
both
this.
Just your both hands, yeah. So you're
I didn't see the difference.
This goes
That's
down, it
much
doesn't
better,
go
yeah.
forward.
Oh,
Right.
So which one's?
okay.
This-
The left goes up, the right goes down.
this
Yeah,
is the
'cause
hand
it's
that
gotta
pushes
get
the fist, 'cause this
Over
is your
here
elbow,
for
right?
this.
You want the
Yeah,
fist in your elbow.
good.
That's why I couldn't quite
Okay, so-
figure out.
so-
Okay,
so you
yeah, that
And-
makes a
separate,
difference.
And that's how you
And-
make the fist with your left,
So
with the elbow
um,
on, make the fist with the elbow on.
you get to here,
And then-
Right,
this is a single
So really into both.
continuous rotation
yeah.
One more
to
time.
this
So-
point.
So
So my body
Right to
is
the
going
yeah.
up, right arm down. Left up.
Yeah,
Don't
it isn't.
turn.
Yeah, I know.
You need all your turn. Turn to the right.
That's, I'm still doing that.
Oh, I'm sorry, you're right. Turn
Yeah,
left.
I think that's.
I said the wrong thing.
That's okay.
Turn left and keep turning left
Yeah,
to face forward.
so it isn't very.
Oh, he's doing the needle, I see bottom of that.
Okay.
Yep.
Say that to David, what you said to me.
Okay, then from there,
yeah.
take us from there, David,
Yeah.
one more time. Okay, so we're here.
This, Carol said to me, this is very little movement.
Yeah. It's
That's right.
okay,
So you're
then-
here.
and then-
All you're going to do is rotate and rise a little, turning right.
That's it.
And then.
Oh, that's right. Remember that, because that's kind of that counterintuitive movement that you would see
Yep.
in the single arm. Remember where your body's going one way, but the arm is going the other. That's what it reminds
Here,
me
your
of.
body's going the other way and your
Your
leg
legs
is
go,
going the other.
yeah. And so that's
So
when
your
you set
body's
the,
going this way and your foot's going this way.
Right.
And then you just go into a bow stance.
Yep.
More or less.
Well, more or less.
Yeah.
Yeah, because your feet are
and we just have to be careful not to,
over,
Overstep
yeah,
our-
because I
our
hurt my
dynamic
knee.
limit.
I did,
Yep.
I did.
All right.
oh.
All right,
Yeah.
thank you.
Oh, gosh.
Last minute. Thoughts, questions?
But I'm just glad this is all on tape.
Thank you.
Thank you.
David. Great class. Oh, my
Right.
gosh.
I gotta go.
Yeah, I'll be right behind you. Oh,
Okay.
goodness.
Don't get in our way.
Oh, my goodness. It was a lot in today's class. Wow. That was
Yeah.
good. This really, ooh. Great class.
Good.
Did you turn on, did you turn on the record button?
Yep. It still is. Matter of fact, I'll turn it off. Thank you. I don't need to leave it on at this point.
How was Maine go?
Oh.